You know you need to stop, but how do you actually stop scrolling when you're addicted? Here's the ironic thing about this video. Less than 10% of people will watch the whole thing even though it's so short. And your desire that might be telling you right now to click off this video and search for something else is exactly the problem. Look, we already know how addictive scrolling is, but if you just stop and think about it for a sec, you know that it's stealing your life away. The project that you're working on is not too hard to accomplish. The book you're trying to read is not too boring. And the business you're trying to start is not too overdone. The reality is just that your attention span is entirely shot, and it's because of your passive scrolling addiction. The reason you clicked this video is because you have something bigger in life that you want to accomplish. And deep down, you realize that scrolling and scrolling and scrolling is a massive distraction. Well, here's some good news for you. There isn't a massive list of things that you need to do to get you to your goals. It's really just one thing: increase your attention span. Okay, so the question becomes, how do we go about increasing our attention span? Some more good news for you is that just as it was weakened from what it was before, it can be strengthened from what it is now. Every single time you finish a song, instead of flipping to the next one after 20 seconds, you build your attention span. Every time you decide to sit down and meditate, you do 1 rep in your mental gym. And every time you finish a video, instead of just scrolling past, you tell your brain that sticking with things is the goal. So take this video as your first exercise. For the remainder of the video, I want you to commit to actually watching the entire thing and take the first step towards building a stronger attention span muscle. The problem is that you've trained your brain to tell you to click off a video when you start watching it, but you need to learn to resist that urge. You need to catch your brain sending you that message to switch off. And by simply fighting that urge, your brain gets a little stronger. Now, the funny thing is, we just reached the point in the video that statistically, most people's attention span have already got them to click off. Imagine clicking on a video called How to Stop Scrolling, then clicking off halfway through to go and scroll some more. Well, for those guys, that's fine. But for you, let's get into the actual way to build your attention muscle. Meditation is the practice of focusing on a single point. Now, it sounds simple, but it's incredibly hard. Try it for 60 seconds after this video ends before you go and click on another video, even one of mine. Bring your attention to your breath and simply sit there with your eyes closed without any stimulation. Once you do that, you just did a rep. Little by little, as you build this practice into your life, you begin to zero out all the damage that you've done to your brain by continuous scrolling. In other words, your brain begins to return to its original state and your attention span gets stronger. Now, with a stronger attention span, you begin to be able to actually finish that project, read that book, start that business. Oh, and of course, stop scrolling. Now, I know what you're thinking, because I used to think that meditation was things for yogis sitting at the top of mountains or monks somewhere deep in their temples. But back in 2016, I wanted to build a daily routine that I thought would make me rich. And I already knew I needed to upgrade my brain and my attention span with it. So after doing a little bit of research, I gave meditation a real shot. And honestly, while I sucked for the first couple of days, by the end of the week, I did a full 10-minute meditation session. I'm not kidding you when I say that when I opened my eyes, I actually had a new idea for the business that I wanted to start. And I also was able to sit down for a 60-minute period of time and actually start working on it. And while 60 minutes might not sound like a lot to you, that was about 59 minutes and 30 seconds longer than I'd ever done in the past. Now, I meditate every single day. And I make more money now than my original goal was when I first set out to do meditation. And to be completely honest with you, I'm never going back because I understand what a superpower it is. If your attention span allowed you to make it to this point in the video, you are in that less than 10% of people that we talked about earlier. And based on the length of this video, the rest of the people who started the video with you have statistically started 6 to 8 other videos and probably learned nothing. Now, that means if you apply what you learned here today, your attention muscle will grow and grow, and your competition will be lower than it's ever been. Ultimately, you clicked on this video to learn how to stop scrolling, but you are leaving with a real practical tool that will help deliver you to your wildest dreams and goals. Now, go do as I suggested earlier, take the next step, and go focus on your breath for 60 seconds. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Spencer with Must Become. Always remember that your potential is your obligation, and so what you can become, you must become.